Hi folks, I did 2 watercolours for you on Saturday, so I'm back to acrylics now. I want to explain some things to you. This is one of the 2 I did, but I think it was on Friday. It's acrylic, it's a sort of abstract. I want to do a far more abstract one in a different, completely different, with much lighter colour, more dramatic colours. So I'll put that to one side. Well, what I've done, it's a piece of watercolour paper, £130 Fabriano, the cheap stuff. It's got 30% rag content, so it's pretty durable. But in any case, I've coated the back of it with dilute PVA glue. Now, I can't tell you how much to dilute because that's a 2 litre can of Decorator's PVA glue, 2.5 litre. But the concentration of this glue varies from supplier to supplier. I got that cheap at B&Q for a £5, well worth it, but it doesn't I don't add too much water to it, otherwise it's just too thin. But others will be thicker, so you'll have to experiment. But I think if you've got a thick one that's more concentrated, it will be about 2 parts water to 1 part of glue. But you've got to adjust it. If it's too runny, it just won't work. And this side, I used a white Galleria gesso with a bit of chalk mixed in with it, chalk dust mixed in with it. When it was dry, which wasn't very long because it doesn't take long to dry, I used a PVA varnish, my dilute PVA on there. I could give it a good thick slosh on of it. You think for the first time you've ruined it because it all goes opaque, but it dries completely clear, and it's durable plastic. Got plastic both sides. If I ever sell it on Etsy, it will roll up in a tube. Carefully, you have to be very careful with a 3-inch tube. I don't want to do something like that. It was of Bembridge Beach, looking towards the lifeboat station and towards the mainland. It's on the Isle of Wight, where we were last weekend. Well, okay, I'll have to put that out of the way. Now, I want to say something about this Masterson Stay Wet palette. Where's the lid? Show you the lid. Bit of advice here. That's as I bought it, but nowhere near as dirty, of course. I've had this for about 25 years. It's marketed by Chroma, who supply a whole range of paints, acrylic paints, top quality stuff. And they used to have a warehouse opposite where I used to buy my carpets and all my carpet sundry materials when I was in business. And I would get my stuff that I needed, my materials, underlay, carpet gripper and all that sort of stuff, adhesives. And then I'd go across the little road on the trading estate into Chroma and have a rummage there and buy some membranes and so on. But they moved to another place in Croydon, then they moved out to West Sussex, but they still have an office somewhere in Croydon because I phoned them on a London number. I wanted some more of these membranes. What they do, you put the membrane on either a sponge that they supply, but I don't like it, tends to go rotten after a while, so I've got a couple of sheets of toweling under there cut to the size, soaked with water and the membrane on top of it. They will stay workable for ages when I put the lid on. It's warm today, so they will tend to dry out a little bit. But the palette itself, 25 years ago, look at it, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. And I went on eBay to see if I could buy some membranes, but they don't do this size. This is the Premier palette. Remember that, the Masterson Premier palette. Well, I'm not using it for acrylic, so I put my watercolour palette in there, but I've got it in a document case at the moment. And I went on eBay and they're about £30 for 30 sheets, but they don't do this size, this large size. So I phoned up Chroma, phoned up their office, and I told him that I want them to 16 by 12-inch membranes, and they had those. He said, well, we post them packaged, they're £18, which is far cheaper than eBay, than anything on eBay. So I'm buying direct. So if you want to buy direct, especially in the UK, although it's an American company, They were very, very good, very efficient, happy to serve me, and even happier when I told them that I will mention them, as I do. I always mention the Staybrook palette on YouTube. So if it does them some good, I'll be pleased. I didn't do it for any benefit I might get out of it, other than the pleasure of using their palette. So I've still got some of these left, but I ordered 2 packs. Not to be stingy, I ordered 2 packs for that price. So there we go. So if you want to contact Chroma Colour, CROMA Colour, or CHROMA Colour, Chroma Colour, one word. Go and just phone them up, phone them direct, and see what happens. In the UK, you'll have no problem. America, well, you can probably buy them as cheap in America, because Chroma Colour came up with an acrylic ink that diluted hundreds of times more than the ordinary acrylics. These, if you use them as watercolour, they're okay, but they bleed out in the watercolour paper, then stop. So you get edges around your washes. So if you're doing a landscape with them, best to do your sky in watercolour and then do the acrylic afterwards. Terry Harrison did that, who sadly died last year. He used to be a great demonstrator for us in Wallington, Carshalton, some years ago. Always popular, do 3 demonstrations in a session, and he would use sponges in the acrylic but he was marketing a Dale Rowney cheapo Staybrook palette, which doesn't remotely compare with this. This has had an almighty bashing over 25 years, still going strong. So there we are. So what I'm going to do is a bit of a change. I'm going to wash the design in using just water to start with. Bit of water. Come in the brush. So we'll put in a bit of background. So we've got a headlamp, but I want a bluey green. I want this to look distant. So a bit of blue and yellow, touch of red, a bit more blue, and we'll a bit coming down here. It's quite a nice gesso on this. It's good and rough, like me. And then we'll put a bit of a horizon in, and a bit of mainland. Might not be a good idea to have, let's have that coming down there. And put a bit of blue in the distance for Portsmouth and Southampton. Going to nothing. To Hayling Island. So Portsmouth is backed up by quite hilly, and then going to nothing. Okay, and then we've also got some sand and shingle beach. Now I like using burnt umber for my beaches, a bit yellow, plenty of white. And so we'll just wash those in. There's more trees going up there, so I'll bung those in a minute. And then they've got these sandstone rocks, which are really quite lovely. Well, we'll add a bit of black, or a bit of Payne's grey with that. And the tide goes right out, but we'll have it coming in a little bit, so just something like that. And I'll put a sky in, clean the brush. So a bit of blue, a bit of Payne's grey, plenty of water. This will all dry very quickly. I've got my gel ready to use. Let's get that a bit darker. The acrylic is sort of supposed to be, well, I don't know, supposed to be, it's non-toxic anyway. And we'll put a bit of that sky colour in the water. See, that's dry, you can paint over it now. I'll thicken it up considerably, don't you worry. Just have rock pools coming in here as the tide comes in. I think if you watch the videos I did on Hayling Island last week, you'll hear me say that we were there accidentally with the cows round the COWES, cows annual round the island, Isle of Wight yachts race, and 1,200 yachts took place, big, small. So we watched some of that in front of our leisure hotel where we were languishing for 3 days. Well, so that's a wash. So we'll have a bit of light, washy stuff underneath that sky. Just get some paint on, raw paint. Bit of light in the sky. Right, now I can tell from looking at that page that it's still not completely waterproof, but as I work on it, it should flatten out quite a lot. Let's just pull that, it's nice and tight there. Okay. Just a little bit there. Right, so let's do a bit more of that sky now. Let's go with the gel. Now we've got a sort of design, so we want some heavy stuff. Going with the artillery now. Payne's grey. A bit of red in that. Payne's grey, ultramarine. Bit of cad red. Just build up some dramatic cloud. Just vary the blues, bit of white. Look, whatever you put on, you can change quite easily as you do. I don't try to finish any particular bit of the painting, just go all over it, and eventually I'll get an idea of what looks good and what doesn't. But it will only be my opinion. Bit of gel. Been washing Wimbledon this afternoon, for those that don't think it's for insomniacs. Well, America, did you see your lovely ladies team beat Holland last night? I did. And I shall also be watching the Tour de France, which I love. To be up my bike tomorrow, along the Wandle, 12 miles. I like mixing the black, or the Payne's grey, with just the cloud hovering over the Solent. That's what we call the stretch of water between the Isle of Wight and the mainland. I'm leaning a bit on one of my favourite artists, Jackie Gardner, for this. There's some more light blue. It's a nice blue. I can't show you the palette because I'm holding it. I like to hold my palette. Right, get some more cloudy stuff up here. Let's get that cloud hanging over there. Right, now let's right, I'll clean that brush. Let's get another brush. Put in some light. Now, touch of ochre. I'm not using pure white, I'm just using it's just a bit just soften some of that. Right, I'll let that go for a minute. Let's get some blue in there. Clean the brush. Keep your brushes scrupulously clean. I squeeze mine through toweling as well to get the last bit out. And when I finish, I'll wash the whole lot under a stiff tap. Well, a stiff. Blue. That's too much there. Guess not that dark, but just to sort of hold us into the picture. I'll go back to that. Right, another brush. We're going to put in this bluish Put a bit of hello, got visitors. Well, I'll get some dark in there now, so the paint's grey, a bit of red, blue, a shadow coming down here. And then we just go into here, do a bit of shadowy blue. A bit of red and Payne's grey for the darks. Right, now I need more light in that. It's probably got a little bit dark. Clean the brush. I've got quite a few of these inch varnish brushes. Right. A bit of blue in there, reflecting a bit of the sky. Right, now I'll go back to this brush here. So I want brown and like Payne's grey, brown, birch sienna. So I'll put a bit of background to it. I'm not being very literal with this. Right, let's get a bit of yellow, a bit of mixed in with that. Putting some red in this, just to warm it up a bit. And I want to put another bit down there. Now, just a bit of light here. Kind of a bit too high there. Okay, right, change the brush again. I'm going to get some lighter sand in some of this. I'll show you my palette in a minute. Soft. Should put a bit of shadow in there. Listening to the radio here and they're talking about the zodiac boats. Some guy said, I live on the Isle of Wight. Well, this is the Isle of Wight. Well, my impression of it. So we get some nice sand colour, plenty of white. There's quite a bit of shingle on this piece, but I can't paint it all. Right, let's make something with those that sandstone rocks with water going over them. So I use just yellow ochre. And we'll put in some water. Put a little bit of dark to represent that sky going over there. Right, I quite like that. This is a long flat, this brush, number 8, graduate, cracking brushes. Probably want to just get a bit darker along that horizon now. So we'll put that in first, then we can just go over it, drag over it with some white. Just soften that with a bit of gel. Right, now we'll go back with the white, the waves. Bit of impasto. Try to show the wetness of these rocks, and I'm not very successfully achieving that. Got a bit of shadow around here, bit of wetness. Okay, well, let's not muck about with that anymore. Let's put it in a mount and we'll have a look at it. It's almost all dry now, but the thing is knowing when to stop, which is always difficult. What's happening out there? That's too big really, but it's a lovely mount. Okay, let's put that there. it's just for display. I don't frame any of my work. I might come up with a free frame, but I like to just show them in a mount. I've got quite a few pictures in my own house, of course, here, but they're sort of frames I've acquired over the years. Or I used to buy those Aquati ones, the quite elaborate ones, but they look alright at the demos to put the painting in, but not really suitable for flogging, selling. Okay, well there we are, we've got a painting it. I'm going to lift that up and then turn that down. Okay. Quite dramatic. I think it's more I can't dramatise it on my screen here. It's quite a bit darker than well, the sky is anyway. But I hope you enjoyed that one. We've got that sort of storm cloud or cloud hanging over. It's a bit of a seagull cloud, that is, hanging over the. Well, I better just put a bit of that in, haven't I? A bit of the distance. Another lovely brush by Graduate. It's a round. There's a bit of gel. So let's have a very, very distant blue. Alright, okay. I think I'll put in a bit of beach there because the tide doesn't come right up to, other than a storm, come up onto this as high up the beach as that. Right. Bit of green on the top of them. No, I'll ruin that, I think. See, fiddling, never knowing when to stop. We all suffer from it. Right, let's just get my beach colours back in. Whoops. A bit better. There's a bit of reflection now on the beach. I'm going to let that go, it's not too bad. Okay, here you go. So there's the palette. I'll give it a bit of a clean. I'll put the lid on, and that'll do for later. It's only 11:30. I want to get that uploaded now. There's my gel, but I think the sky that's works all right. That's quite tricky to do that. I'm not working for any reference material on it, other than my own previous paintings. The distance has come out better. But well, anyway, it's what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.